This video is not financial advice. I'm not a financial planner. I'm an entertainer. The one and only ape father in the house. Up late again. Wow! Actually, I had a lot of sleep during the day. I'm a musician. I'm just used to being up at night. You know what I mean? So anyway, life throws us curveballs sometimes. You know what I mean? It's sometimes we're not expecting something. It just comes out of the blue. And we just get shocked. It's like, I like to call it the shock effect. And, a lot of people in this world sometimes can't handle it. They can't handle the shock effect. There's not too many people, okay? So I'll give you a perfect example and how this applies to AMC stock. My wife has always been, just so that you know, very, very healthy. Her family is very healthy. And, there was never, ever anything that I would ever think how my wife would one day have cancer. I would never think it. Never. And it was all a joke one day. She just went for a regular checkup and it was no big deal. And they found something in the breast that turned out to be cancer. And my whole life and my whole family's life was turned upside down. Just like this. In a matter of just 1 minute, a second even. Everything was calm, everything was happy, everything was like jolly. We were very, everything was great. And, obviously our life was turned upside down. So it happened with my mom. She came one time visiting us from Florida. And at the time my parents were living in Florida. And she had chest pains, She's like, I don't know what's wrong. I never felt like this before. And we take her to the doctors thinking it's nothing. Like she's probably just got indigestion, maybe gas. Turned out that I think 3 of her arteries were clogged. She had to get a triple bypass. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. You're like, hey, Father, you got to eat healthier. And you're right. You're 100% right. And I'm trying to. Actually, today, I just want you to know I had chicken soup. My wife made me chicken soup. I'm having it now. So I'm going to try to cut back because you're right. It is something I have to take seriously. But the point is that life throws us all curveballs sometimes. And it really takes a very strong-willed person to be able to deal with it without losing it. There's an old expression, God only gives us what we can handle. A matter of fact, I wrote a song about this. If you ever get a chance, look it up. Ape Father, God only gives us what we can handle. I'm actually going to post it too. I'm going to post it on the community board. If you go to my channel, the Ape Father channel, and you go to the community section, I'm going to post it after this video. It's a song called God Only Gives Us What We Can Handle. It's the original song I wrote, but it's something from my heart because I really feel like God was testing my willpower and my strength. It was one thing when my wife had breast cancer. Another thing, my son has special needs. My mother has the triple bypass. My father passes away. And I know that this, to some people, they'll say, well, you can't put this in the same league, but I do. My dogs to me are my family. And, right now we have, as you know, a Shih Tzu, Max, and a Puggle, Chloe. But before them, we had 2 Shih Tzus, Rocky and Yogi. 2 beautiful, beautiful Shih Tzus. And they passed away around the same time. They were around 13 years old. And I got hit with a lot at one time, and, it's that plus you have, so many other things in life. You're just dealing with normal life stress, like surviving, paying bills, And when you add all of that up together, it's like a domino effect. It's like a chain reaction. And I think that's what happened to all of us with AMC. You know what it is? I came into AMC around June, and I have to be perfectly upfront and honest with you. The reason why I bought so high, because I get asked this question all the time. I wasn't looking at AMC like a normal stock. If I was looking at it like it was just a normal stock, I wouldn't have bought at the high levels. What do you think? I'm a psycho? I don't know. I looked at it like this was something very special. And I still believe that to this day. And it's a movement. And I just really felt that we were, in a position at that point in June where we were ready to pop at any moment, like the MOAS was coming, because, I saw us go to a very high of 73. I saw us just fighting and fighting and fighting. And I just felt it. I'm like, this is it. This is my life changing wealth. This is my generational wealth opportunity. And I went all in. All in. Do I regret doing that? You want me to be honest with you? Do I regret doing that now? Yes. If I could turn back time, maybe I would have put like 25% of my life savings in and slowly but surely built it up, because I learned in the stock market, I didn't know how corrupt it was. This is what I mean, that life throws you curveballs. I didn't know back then, I really didn't, how corrupt this market is, how much there's control and manipulation. Like, let me give you a perfect example, like how Lou was talking about, this whole March 3rd event, okay? One of the things that I actually learned today from Phil For Real, I watched his video, is that this is not even in effect yet. Okay, so the SEC transparency rule is just a proposed rule that has not been adopted. So ultimately, even if adopted, which could take a long time, what are we really going to get out of this? See, like Elon Musk said, you should include synthetic shares in this transparency rule. So I guess as of today, that's not even included. So think about it. Imagine if it gets passed. And so what exactly are they proposing? They're proposing that hedge funds tell them about information we already know. Like we already know that AMC is shorted up to about 117 million shares. So is that what the SEC is going to require? Because it doesn't seem like they're going to require synthetics. So that's why the Ape Father makes a lot of these very passionate videos about how I want all of us to buy on non-payment for order flow platforms, because you don't realize how important it is. I'm telling you, you don't realize it. I know that a lot of you are out there and you're like, I have shares and I don't want to transfer them over, Ape Father. And that's fine, because you don't want to miss the MOAS. But for you all to continue to buy on Robinhood and Webull and TD Ameritrade and E-Trade, it's just, guys, it's wasting time. We're never going to win. And guys and ladies, we're never going to win. It's just going to be, we're putting more and more wealth into Ken Griffin's pocket. We're making, by every trade that we do on payment for order flows platforms, we're making him a richer man each and every day. He controls it. As of right now, it looks like this SEC proposed rule doesn't even include the use of fake shares or synthetic shares. So I don't even think they're going to report it anyway, even if this rule becomes adopted. So it just seems like the only chance that we have to win, in the Ape Father's opinion, is we have to take matters into our own hands. Look, I'm sure in time, something will come out of the government. Like, the Department of Justice will probably eventually get Ken Griffin to either work out some sort of a deal, or he'll probably knock down some of the lower people to save his own butt. But something will come out of it. But for you to be depending on that for the MOAS, it's a bad decision. It's a bad decision. And that's why I see people don't understand why I always get angry at clickbait. I get even angry at Lou, because it's like they're putting this false hope in your heads that like the government is going to save us. That's just, you know what I mean? It's preposterous. The government doesn't care about the retail investor. I'm sorry to say it, but they don't care about us. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like saying, let me think, like it's tax time, right? And you owe the government money, right? You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden they're gonna like be your best friend. Oh, you don't have to pay us. Keep the money. Go on a vacation. Go take your family to like Jamaica. One love, one heart. I want to go so bad. Let's get together and feel alright. I can't wait to go back to Jamaica. But the point is that this is a very, very dog-eat-dog world. It's very cutthroat. Nobody cares. It's like the movie The Bronx Tale, Sonny. Remember how he said it? Nobody cares. You're on your own. And you have to just formulate a plan based on your current situation. So that's what I'm doing with AMC. I'm formulating a plan where I could hold AMC for a long period of time, because I know eventually it's going to hit, and it's going to hit big. It's money in the bank. And I'm just thinking to myself, I got to survive every month. I got to feed my family. I got to keep everything. I got to keep the boat afloat. You understand? And that's what my advice would be to all of you. Make sure that you have enough money in AMC that you're able, you understand, to hold it. It's not money that, like, you don't mind if you lose it. It's not money that's going to take food off the table. It's not money that's going to affect your living situation, like paying bills. So keep that and slowly, gradually keep building it up. Don't have this thing where you feel like I made the mistake, where I put all my life savings in a one shot. Because I'm telling you guys and girls, if I could turn back time, that's that song by Cher. If I could turn back time, I would probably put 25% of my life savings in AMC. Don't get upset. I'll explain. Because as the stock goes lower and I could keep buying the dip, I would have the reserve cash, baby. And that's my tip to you. You got to have the reserve cash so that when the stock dips, you could buy the dips, because sometimes you put everything into it in one shot and then you got nothing left and you can't buy the dip. So I learned a lot from this experience. It really was a great learning experience for me, life learning experience. And moving forward, that's just how I will handle things. I'll put money in the stock market that I know I could hold for a long period of time. I'll have reserve cash on me that I know I'll be able to buy the dip, and I always know I'll be able to pay my bills, feed my family, and survive. And you know what? If you do that, it's only a matter of time when you're going to get the biggest, most amazing day of your life, and AMC will have that magical, mystical day where it will Moaz. And it's only going to be a few people, I think, that are really going to be the winners here. Because a lot of people, I know them, I'm telling you, I don't know, you have to have tremendous willpower. You have to have tremendous strength to be patient, to hold throughout this, turbulence.